Hi guys, quick update here for YouTube. It's 30th of January 2025. Hope everyone's doing great. If you want to join the group, everything's here. Obviously, we have found the next Solana, the next 17,000% move. It's a coin which we've bid in for over a month now. We've got a special video on that here. Obviously, all the updates are shared within the Facebook group too, but you also get access on the Teachable. So that is a 17,000% coin. I've had a few comments in the YouTube, in my last YouTube video. A couple of people think that they found the coin, but I don't think it's the ones which have been mentioned there. So if you want to take part in the next Solana, everything's there. We did call the Solana $4 to 1,000 move. Right now, it's around 200. No one really cares. A big part of that move is clearly over. So if you want to join the group, everything's here. If you want to educate yourself, you've got the courses here. You've got the mini version as well as the mortgage course. Part 2 should be getting released at some point in this year. That's been 3.5 years delayed here, but such is the volatility and the opportunity within the stock market that we've not managed to quite finish off that course, but I'm hopeful of a 2025 release for that. Now, before we go on to here, obviously there's been a lot of chaos here. Now, Nvidia, obviously we're not in Nvidia. We don't care if it goes to zero because we buy low and we sell high in the group, right? So we made, top 10 call of all time when it was here, 400 pre-stock split, and we got out here. And then Stanley obviously watches my videos and he got out later. You never sell the top. You sell on the way to the top. Now, that is a hell of a lot of volume. I have refused to give any higher targets as of the last 6 months. So if you regard all of that as a distribution, obviously at an ending diagonal 5, I can technically count a completed cycle from here, from the Genesis 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And that's the problem that you have here with Nvidia. It's an uninvestable asset. It's in weak hands. That is a hell of a lot of volume, and damage like that doesn't get repaired overnight, okay? And I've been saying it for over 6-7 months now. You never sell the top. You sell at a point where the dynamic risk and reward, there's no point being involved in this stock. I mean, how much higher is it going to go from here? And if it has topped, and I think there's a very good opportunity, very good possibility that it has topped. Unbelievably, it's going to end up doing a full round trip to our initial entry, which was this fake head and shoulders breakdown on the 2nd of Jan 2024. So you cannot make this up. Obviously, that's going to bring some volatility overall within the stock market. We know we are approaching a grand super cycle top in the S&P. So I just wanted to cover a video there. Obviously, we bought at 40. We said it was going to become the world's most valuable company, which it did 3 or 4 times. And now it's not looking very good. I mean, to me, that can easily go to 40 because I can count a completed 5 ways from the Genesis. Now, without giving too much away here, we have the count between now and the end of the decade. Even if I told the YouTube audience, we have a multiple tens of thousands of dollars of range here. It's actually quite incredible what I believe is going to happen in the medium to long term. Short term, there's been a little bit of confusion here. It was breaking down, then it was breaking up, now it's breaking down again. Anyone who's gone back and forth here on a short-term basis, I completely respect that view. Hell of a lot of volume has come into this market here. Bitcoin is consolidating, so without giving too much away for the medium and long-term count, you can make the extrapolation that this market can produce one more high. From here, you can make that judgment. After that, obviously, we don't want to give too much away, but you can extrapolate one more new high from here. Certainly, we have been long since this failure to break down below 90. You could have easily read that as the top, by the way, and as well as this. But given how much volume has come out of the market, you would have to say that there is the possibility for one more new high. Obviously, I'm not believing in the 4-year cycle theory. I don't believe in theories like that, which suggests the top is going to be in November 25. If this breaks out of it and starts rallying higher, there's a couple of other leading indicators which we are following, stocks and on-chain metrics. I think a top is going to form here way sooner than November. And then obviously we have some issues. So the medium to long term count, we have all of that boxed off. Nothing here the last 4 weeks has changed that. All that's happened is they've chucked in a few curveballs, and that's it, because it has been very, very messy. You know, you can read all of that as a diamond continuation pattern, but it's a very difficult count. It's a very difficult count because really, normie started to invade this market ever since the first YouTube video. We have been in normie season here. That's why all of us have invested in altcoins since 2017. Once the altcoins developed their US dollar tether pairings, it was very clear that's where the really big money is to be made. And like I said, if you want access right here to the new Solana, which isn't any of the comments which have been mentioned. I won't mention the coins which have been mentioned on the last video, but it's definitely none of them. It's a very undercover coin. I mean, just today it's up. Well, I don't want to give it away, but basically it's up more than 10% and less than 40% today, right? And it's valued way less than 1 billion currently. I cannot believe it's that undervalued. So it's not any which have been mentioned before. As I said, Bitcoin has effectively been in normie season ever since the first YouTube video. We all know the big opportunity is in the altcoins, but Bitcoin medium long-term count hasn't changed. We know exactly what's going to happen in this absolutely incredible price action that's going to take place between now and the end of the decade. But short term, for what it's worth, I think there's very much the possibility we could continue charging on higher here. We have done a detailed update of the short term count here to the group, and I won't give away the target, but I don't think it's going to be more than 200k, and I don't think it's going to supersede November 2025. In fact, I think it's going to be way less than 200k, and it's going to be way before 2025. I don't believe in any of this 4-year cycle nonsense. So that's enough for crypto there. So is there anything else you want to quickly cover here? We can have a quick look at the S&P before we call it a day. Like I say, if you want a more detailed take, just come and join the group. Now, you know, here, much like everything else, it's still charging higher. Passively, this market is still long. You know, we've been looking for 4/6s here for over 1.5 years, maybe even 7,000. You cannot, regardless of Nvidia, I mean, I think Nvidia's formed a major top there. I think that's too much damage has taken place. We've obviously been out, you know, for the last 7 months. We don't care if it goes to zero, because we never sell the top in the group. We sell at a point where the risk is just too high holding this stock. The minute it starts wasting life and distributing, you know you have a huge problem there. And it would make a lot of sense if the stocks were to top first, right? It would make very, you know, normal. It'd be very normal price for the stocks to do this as the S&P does this, and that creates the confusion and the divergence that we're looking for. So Nvidia looks very bad, may as well have topped for the rest of eternity. SPY, I personally cannot call a top. Any pullback of any major description for the foreseeable future is viable. 5%, 10%. You'd be lucky to get a 20% correction given how this melt up is going here. So, but you have to understand that the different stocks may not necessarily correlate with the S&P. I mean, 490 odd of these stocks are already crashing. Look at PayPal, Roku, Alibaba. Oh, I nearly gave one away there. Alibaba's one which we've been in for the last week. That's a very interesting chart if you want to know more. You know, there is opportunity there, but most of those stocks look pretty terrible and won't be making a new high anytime soon. So all the money's got shoved into the top 7 stocks. But once you see cracks in Nvidia today, cracks are appearing in Microsoft, in Apple. Obviously, the S&P, you know, eventually is going to be very limited, because it's these 7 stocks are driving this index higher, and there's only so far the divergence can play. But for what it's worth right now, even if Nvidia is going to crash all the way down to 40, I cannot call a top specifically in the SPY. There's enough movement laterally from the other stocks to just about keep it propped up. Obviously, once Microsoft starts calling it a day, Apple, Tesla, Facebook, Amazon, then eventually we're going to have to call a top. I see no reason why this passively cannot hit 4/6s, maybe even 7,000. I've not, as of yet, forecast a count to 10,000. I think that's pushing it a little bit. Eventually, you know, these stocks are going to fail here. There's only so much mathematically this market can really do, but passively, I see no reason why it can't go to 4/6s before a very large crash, which isn't here right now, but it will be at some point soon. So if you want to know more, come and join the group. Baba is very interesting, and like I said, this altcoin is what it's all about. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll catch you guys in the next video.